Ohio Mike and Hisashiburi, today's video comes to you from a camcorder that my student/friend gave to me. I've been meaning to use it for weeks, except I've been very busy, so I haven't produced any videos. I don't know how to tell if this thing is focused. It doesn't make any focusing noises. This video also comes to you from my newly cleaned living room, which was so dirty that the cleaning of it yesterday was cause enough for the police to show up. Apparently. And unbelievably. There's the poster in front of which I film my methodology videos, and there's the hat stand on top of which rests my detective hat, and there's the desk on top of which I write scripts in despair about the state of my career, and there's the computer that is still updating even now, and I don't know why, and there's the wine bottle that Ife was drinking wine from yesterday as I watched, unbelievably, for the very first time, The Godfather. Well, today was Monday in Japan. Let's see what the heck happened.
You know what, to be honest, I was gonna try to do a kind of Zay Frank thing with the rest of my video and comment on political news in Japan, but I can't bring myself to be interested. The rest of this video is me, after taking some footage of a couple of articles, sitting and thinking of ways to make the political situation in Japan interesting and relevant to someone living in Pittsburgh, and then pretty quickly coming to the realization that I just can't. I mean, I can't even make myself very interested, and today seems to have been a fairly scandalous news day, domestically speaking. You know, something started to come into focus for me as I was slouched there in front of my bookshelf, something that's been brewing in the back of my head for a while, that I'm only able to put into words now. I think I may have put myself in a narratively niche position with regard to, well, lately working with videos, but technically I suppose this niche could apply to any narrative art I try to engage in. This is both good and bad, which I suppose is why I feel so confused. Here's what I mean. First, what I mean by niche is the sort of narrative or topical angle that any given artist is expected to take when making things like these videos or blog posts or whatever. Now, the definition of art is always problematic, but I'm just going to wing it here and assume you know what I'm talking about. Now, in my mind, one's niche can be something as simple as, like, Bill Nye choosing to explain science through his art, or Wes Anderson creating really colorful, entertaining worlds and characters that entertain his audiences. Those are, I think, good examples of finding your niche and working with it. The bad way of doing it is to go about it in the way that I've come to think of as the Pittsburgh way. Now, this is potentially incredibly small-minded and unfair of me, but I felt like a lot of the Pittsburgh-born or based authors and artists that I learned about at UPG were a little bit too into their niche as Pittsburgh artists. You had to have a poem about bridges or some reference to steel, football, blue-collaredness, or Southwest PA in order to be truly doing your duty as a local artist. And like I said, this is probably pretty unfair of me. I mean, I was in college, and it occurs to me now as a teacher that showing students artists like these would have been a good way to teach them about basic artistic interpretation of people, places, and things. But my annoyance with being compelled to think about steel girders and cheap brick apartment buildings as part of my artistic DNA has pretty much always made me resist geography-based niches in the stuff I produced. So, fast forward 8 years, and here I am in Japan in the somewhat ironic position of being compelled by geography to niche myself in Japanese culture. Of course, there's no reason why I need to talk about Japan in everything I produce, but there's also that writer's adage to write what you know. And to a degree, perhaps more than most, I know Japan. So I feel like I should talk about Japan, but I don't really want to, but at the same time I feel like I could talk about it in an interesting and fulfilling way. It's just that I haven't found it yet, and I don't know if that's because of a lack of knowledge or just because I haven't worked hard enough on cracking the problem yet or what. But I wish I knew more things about more things, and I wish I could think better and clearer, and I wish I knew what to do with myself, because putting a ton of time into things that I care for so little that I don't think I can even learn from is incredibly draining, and the stress of it is probably turning me into a rather unpleasant person to be around, and I'm not sure how to fix any of this. Mike, good luck with things on your end, and I'll see you next time.